for example, I will go on the stage, I will use the voice changer, I will use another avatar, and I will like and I will say, listen, I want to perform, I want to take my power out. What would you do?
Afra, how are you today? And we'll have a conversation.
And thank you so much for sharing your story. I think we are done.
Yay! That was a lot of fun, Afra. Thank you, seriously. But
Like 1
Afra,
hour.
Now I need to. Afra,
guys,
now
thank you
I'm
so much.
concerned. I need you to know, Afra. Three things you need to know.
Mhm.
I have had a which I can confirm. I do believe that was my real right. That has happened. I am no longer. And I have.
Wow, I didn't know that. You look so virgin. The way he just suicide. Hello, I'm Afra, and welcome to another episode of VR show Tell Your Story. And tonight we have well-known in Vrchat community, goes by name Dina Boy, host of Power Hour, and his name is Powertron. Hi, how are you doing today?
Oh my God, that's me. Yes, I'm doing amazing. Thank you so much, Afra. How about you?
Thank you, I'm great. It's nice to have you here. Thank you for coming to the show.
Of course.
Can you tell me how did name Powertron came to this community? Like how it started, why you choose this name? Maybe you have before another names as well.
Well, actually, no. My name has always been Powertron with every video game.
Really?
A long time ago, when I was a kid, I was making an account for a game, for a little browser game that my friends would play, and I didn't know what to call myself, so I asked my dad, "Hey, what should I call myself?" And at the time, the Shia LaBeouf Transformers movies were very popular, and so my dad said, "What about Powertron, just like Megatron?"
So it's
And I
your
thought to myself, "Oh, that's cool."
wow. So your dad name you with this name. Interesting. You know, I think it's the first time I
Basically,
actually
yes.
hear that someone is goes with the same name as it starts since like very beginning. How people call you or your friends, how they call you? Do you want to expose your original name or you want to keep it as a secret?
Oh no, my real name's not a secret. It's just that no one ever calls me by my real name. The only people that call me by my real name are my friends that I've known from high school.
Mhm.
Normally people call me Power, but when someone
Okay.
asks me, I'm more than happy to tell them what my name is. My name is Baruch, which is Hebrew.
Baruch?
And
Wow.
yes,
I think
yes,
it even
and
sounds like more Arabic, like it's kind of
it
Baruch.
does. It does.
Yeah.
In Latin America, they would always think it's a really weird name, and they would always do it with an accent. They'd be like Baruch. I don't know. They would be like, they would
Uh-huh.
make fun of me because my name was so different from the rest of them. But yeah, it's blessed
Yeah,
in
it's
Hebrew. I've always
blessed
liked
in
my name. I've
Hebrew.
never heard like yes.
Interesting. So you hosting Power Hour and
Yes.
open mic. Is it like there is any difference open mic and Power Hour or Power Hour? It's a like name of the place Power Mic. Like, can you make it clear in this somehow? Because I always see
Sure.
open mic or Power Hour.
Right. So the world that we use is called Open Mic REP Night.
Mm-hmm.
REP is a little group that I am officially a part of. I guess you can call me one of the three leaders.
Oh.
So it's a group, Renegade Entertainment Productions. Basically, it's not just for open mic, but we have a focus on open mic. We do a lot of shows, so that world you'll see if you come at different times, you'll see that world will have a different show on it. Sometimes we
Mm-hmm.
have one called Alex in Wonderland,
Yeah,
the Seven Deadly
I've seen.
Tavern, a few shows, right? In this case, Power Hour is mine. Power Hour is the show I do. I specifically do open mic. I try to keep it pure as possible, because I like open mic a lot, and I don't see too much of a reason to change it. But the real big difference is that I'm there. I just try to put as much energy into it as I can, and I just try to to encourage people, and to be silly and to have fun. So really, it's more just the personality, but it's open mic at the end of the day.
But it's not a power hour, it's a lot of hours and power. You know, that what I noticed, because I
Right.
was the one who participating there, and it's like take me only an hour stand in the queue.
Yeah, I know. I want to tell her, but she's too into it, bro.
So
Yeah, no lines, man.
how much power do you have to handle all of this, and like actually like how did it come to you? When did you start and why? Are you alone in here or someone
Right.
supporting you here?
When it comes to Power Hour, it's I have supports, but doing the show itself is me. It's my responsibility. If
Mm-hmm.
I'm not there, it doesn't happen. I
Yeah.
like there's only been 2 times where I've done about 30 something episodes so far, and it's only been twice that I've asked a friend to host it instead of me, because I couldn't that day. One of them was actually when I had surgery. So
What
I try
happened?
never to miss it, and I had to remove something. It's weird to explain, but I had a ball of pus in my body that I needed to get rid of.
Uh-huh.
And
How
so
do you feel
yeah,
right
that
now?
I had surgery, and I just oh, that
Oh,
was a while back, and thankfully everything's healed. Everything's healed so well. So I at this point, it's like I never had surgery. I'm near the end of it. There's still a little scar, but it's not bad. I'm pretty okay.
that's great. I'm happy to hear that you're all right. Look, like how long
Thank you, thank you.
ago uh, Power Hour started? Did you had some other show before? Or it's just like direct like Power Hour,
No.
same Powertron, like Powertron and Powertron.
Yeah, no, I didn't really play Vrchat until November of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
When I started playing it is when I found another open mic, Midnight Munchies Manifesto. I liked it a lot, so I would go to other random open mics, and when no one was organizing it and when everything was out of order, I would, just try and
Mm-hmm.
try to organize it myself, and because I thought it looked like fun. Then after a little bit, it was when Pip Reptile, the owner of the world where I do Power Hour, me and him
Mm-hmm.
met, became friends. He thought I would do a good job. And then between each other, we kind of just said, hey, what if I start doing an open mic every Tuesday or Wednesday? And we decided on Tuesday, and the rest is history. We just did it. We put stuff in the world. I just invited as much people as possible and tried to go to different places and say, come to Power Hour, and annoy everyone. And yeah, that's kind of how it all
And
started.
I can say that
So
you're doing
since
very
December.
well since December, right? I
Oh,
can
thank
see
you.
that you're really doing very well. It goes well. Even you are not there. Sometimes I join the world to show some of my new friends as well. Like I see there is like big interest and people keep coming and they keep asking like, "Oh, there is a Power Hour when I can perform," and they keep on asking. I'm like, "Wow, it's already a life by itself." Like it doesn't matter if you are there or not, but like people already know this what you've created, so they're searching for you. I
Yeah.
think, do you think about extending for like one more day or maybe longer hours or like some challenges?
Yes and no. I've thought of it. There are some times where I think maybe I should change the date or something, or maybe do another show, because I have a friend, another host who he does
Hmm.
like 4 or 5 shows a week, and
Wow.
I think that's too much just
Is
for
it
his
long?
health. I don't think that's really good. Like,
Long.
Yeah, he goes like 3 hours. It's three
Okay,
hours. That's
that's
3 hours
enough.
a week of like or three. That's like I do longer, of course, but that's only because
Mm.
I do it once a week. But he does it so much, so he has to keep giving that energy. I think it's more difficult. But yeah, I so when it comes to doing something different or expanding, recently within the last 2 months, I've
Mm-hmm.
started putting content on YouTube and real content, like content that
Mm-hmm.
I would edit.
Yeah.
And so right now, what I do is I sing in Valorant. I play Valorant. I sing to people,
Oh,
and those videos are starting to get a bit of attention. They get
really?
a few thousand views, and yeah. So
How how
it's not
toxic people reacting in
big, but
Valorant? Because I know this is the most toxic
well,
community in Valorant. Shut up! Don't say anything.
it's I.
Sing, sing while you're muted. Don't you face this in the
Not
Valorant? I
not
think
that
this is
much actually.
really.
It's because
That's
I
surprising.
don't annoy people. I try my best to not annoy people.
Okay.
I don't just start singing, like I listen to them, I say hi, and if they seem to be friendly and joking and silly, if they
Mm-hmm.
if they look like they're people that are just trying to have fun, like if someone goes in there and says we're gonna win this, like if they're really serious and
Yeah.
saying they're like
Yeah.
giving call outs, I know that
Uh-huh.
they don't want to be silly. They just want to play the game, so I'll play the
Yeah.
game with them. That's fine to me. I'll
Oh,
maybe joke with them a little bit, say a joke here or there, but yeah, I try to sing when I see that it's friendly people, when I see it's
yeah.
people that
That's
are
good that you feel
just friends
environment.
having fun, and
Mm-hmm.
exactly. And then normally, for the most part, I've not had too much issues with people being mean. It used to be that the
Perfect.
worst thing is that they would be annoyed and they'd go, "Oh, I'm gonna meet you," and that's it. They don't say anything else. That's where it stops. But my last video actually has my first really bad reaction where a guy. It started off really weird. It's a group of friends. I can tell that they were in a Discord together, and they were asking me weird questions, asking me if I was overweight, which I kind of am, so I said yes. And they were being really weird. I don't think the questions were. They were having fun. I just think that they were being very strange, and I don't know. They weren't. Just they were being really weird, and I think that they understood the joke and I was left out of the joke. It was really odd, and so eventually they started being a little offensive and a little like too much, which I don't mind. I grew up on the internet. It's fine. I get it. If I don't like it, I just tune it out. It's
How
not
do
that
you
big of a deal to
stay
me. But
positive like while when it's happening? Like sometimes negative is like distracting us. How do you give up or you just take break or you continue and you maintain while you go? How you handle
well,
this
sometimes
situation?
I don't handle it. So sometimes I get mad. So
And what you
so
do when you
yeah,
get mad?
sometimes I just don't. Oh, well, if I'm feeling brave, I start yelling at them, which I try not to do anymore.
Hmm.
I haven't done it too much, but every once in a while, someone will be very persistent or
Hmm.
extremely rude, like extremely like toxic to the point of like saying racist things or something like that. And that's when it really pisses me off. But other
Hmm.
times I try to ignore them and I just stop talking. And maybe like I yell in my room, I'm just like,
Hmm.
I curse and just be like, "Ah, stupid person," right? But like I don't say it on the mic because I don't want to,
And you
add
continue
to it and
playing.
I just say it
Stupid
to
person,
myself.
I will shoot you.
Exactly.
Like
Exactly.
interesting.
I just ignore it.
So this is the
But
two
other
games
times,
you mostly playing, like
yeah,
VRChat
VRChat
and
and Valorant.
Valor. Okay. Do you have some other preferences in the games, like maybe horror?
I don't like horror that much. I don't know, it's boring to me. I find horror a little
Wow.
bit boring.
Hmm.
It has to be really good. I like more horror stories, but I don't like horror games because I don't.
Okay.
I,
So,
I like I like creepy ideas and creepy things.
by the way, I noticed that in your show, like you let people express themselves in different tone, like whether then they using swearing words, slangs, anything like except for of course I hope racism or something like you don't let them, but other than that, I felt that they have freedom of the speech. What do you think about this? Like, do you have some restrictions or limitation, or you just open mic, open word?
For me, other open mics, and I won't say names, but there are a few certain open mics which, they focus on being family friendly, or they
Mm-hmm.
want to be a certain way, and that's
Mm-hmm.
fine, and that should exist. If anything, I think that's important. I think
Mm-hmm.
everyone should have different options, and I think everyone should choose what they feel more comfortable with. But in my case, again, I grew up on the internet. I grew up in Toronto, super multicultural, around a bunch of different races and different types of people. I lived in Latin America where we're super vulgar. So to me, I don't nothing to me is that big of a deal. Um so I'm as long as they don't break Twitch or VRChat TOS, I'm good. I
Mm-hmm.
don't care what
Mm-hmm.
they do, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
So
interesting.
yeah, I
Do you
I
perform
I,
on
I
the
like
stage?
people just doing whatever.
I actually seen you performing, yes.
Uh
Like, that's cool. Like,
right.
how do you feel about this?
Like in real life?
No, when you're performing on the stage in real life too?
I have, yes. I have done that
Oh,
before.
interesting. Can you tell me more about that? Like,
Sure.
what do
Of
you
course,
do?
there's school things, but
Uh-huh.
that's one thing. But I have back in high school, I was in a band. We did a few gigs. We had a contract with an anime convention, actually, so we did a
Mm-hmm.
few shows at an anime convention. And yeah, not too much, but I've had a few, paying jobs, even if it was not a lot of money, but something.
Mm-hmm.
um And so yeah, I it's funny because I will never not be nervous when I go on stage. It's the same thing. My legs shake the same way, and if I feel super numb, I don't get over it. Even though I like it, but I don't get over it. I it's annoying because I feel like I've done it enough times where it shouldn't affect me, but it still does. And well, I always have to try to fight it. But
Mm-hmm. But isn't it the thing when you feel actually alive? Because like, there is even a phrase, do what you feel scared to do.
I like
Like,
that. Yeah, I mean, I never thought of that.
it's kind of always something like you worry about, and you have to break it through, and you becoming like more brave. In the same time, you're gaining more experience, and still when you come back to something what you love, and again this happened.
Right.
That's
Yeah. I think you're right. In a sense, I'm lucky to feel that. I'm
yeah,
lucky to feel that because I'm sure there are certain musicians who feel very dead on stage and they don't care.
really.
I'm
Hmm.
I'm sure there's people that go on stage and don't feel too much,
But then there
and
is no
but for
energy.
me it's a big deal every
Yeah,
time. Exactly.
but you do well,
Exactly.
or you masking it so well, so we can't feel like me. I wouldn't say so. Every time when you let some people be on the stage, like in 3 4 turns, you just jump in and like, hey, listen. you know it's so cool to see you always up and pushing people, like
I
communicating
try.
with them.
For me it's like, of course I like to sing and I like to show off, but I also think it's I try to encourage people. I
Mm.
also don't take myself too seriously, so a lot of the time that's why I say really bad jokes, right? And I'm really silly because I want other people to see, oh wow, the host isn't some strict person. He's not expecting people to be a certain way. He's encouraging, and he's silly. He makes a joke out of himself. So I want them to feel safe, and I don't want them to feel like they have to be perfect. I just want them to get on stage and hopefully they find it fun. I want them to try it. And in my case, I didn't realize that open mic was so fun, but when I did it the first time, I was like, this is amazing. So I want, if maybe other people feel that way too. So like, I want to give them that chance to discover it. If they don't like it, it's fine. But hopefully they get addicted to it like I did. So yeah.
Powertron, how would you describe yourself in one word?
Cringe.
Oh my god. And what do you think people would describe you in one word?
Very cringe. Um, no,
Very
I'll try to give a more serious answer.
No, 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 no. Give it
Um,
as it is. That's the feeling you give. I'm not accepting anything more. It's one word. Cringe, very cringe. Done. Okay, let's talk about your early life. Like, for example, you told me that you were in high school, so, and you were already performing on stage and you were like socialized with people. And even though you were kind of nervous, but like, how the first stage in real life came to you, like what was the performance about, and how you connected with the music. I've seen you sing.
well, okay, so I won't count school because in school I was forced, right? So that's different. Um,
You were
but
forced. Wait,
my
wait, wait, hold on, hold
first
on. You were forced.
it's a part of
Okay.
class, right? It was music class, so we had to do something
Uh-huh.
for
Okay,
for
did you do
certain like
well,
for Christmas. Every class had to do something.
or like?
Um, back then I didn't sing until high school. I always sung as a kid, but I never showed it to anyone. In when I was smaller, in like in
Mm-hmm.
primary school, I never told anyone. I never showed it to anyone. I never sung around anyone. So back then, I just had to go up on, like every class. I learned the xylophone
Mm-hmm.
and the marimba and just played that. And then later on in high school, there were little talent shows, but it was for a grade. Like you had to at least try and stuff. So like again, like I didn't have an option to say no. So that's why I'm saying I'm not gonna count that as much. Um, but my real like first gig that I looked for and got paid for and did was with my high school band. It was a anime convention, like I mentioned. So what my band did was we learned a lot of anime songs, the One Punch Man theme song, the Dragon Ball,
Mm-hmm.
what is it, GX theme song. That one in Spanish because it was Latin America, so we learned it in Spanish. Um, and so we practiced a lot. We practiced about 2 months in advance, I think, because it was our first one and everything. We had band meetings, and we also were working on a few other things like originals, but we were
So it
trying to for
was
the anime
enough
convention. We wanted to do.
part of your life, like
Mhm.
since it was enough part of your life to just go on with this. So how did you actually feel the click when you, yeah, I want to do this all the time? Or like, did you discover yourself somewhere else, other scope, other field? Maybe you felt like maybe you belong to somewhere else, like racer or teacher, or you just direct know that, oh,
um,
I am performing, like I'm show business person, I'm into stage, I'm into society more, like I'm public figure. How did you feel about this? Like, when did
well,
you understand?
for the longest time, I didn't know what I wanted to do. Even
Mm-hmm.
when I was doing the band, I didn't think that was gonna be my full gig. Like I didn't think I would do that forever. I thought this is probably gonna end in a few years at most. Or
Have
at
you tried
least.
something else?
So
Have you tried?
not really. I have had other jobs, but
Uh huh.
call center and stuff like that. But I haven't. I'm not in university. I don't study anything. Part of because of that, because nothing. I'm not passionate about everything, and for a long time that was very. It hurt a lot. I was very lost and was very scared because I didn't know. Like every single career I looked at, I thought I don't want to do that for the rest of my life. Like that doesn't sound fun at all. And
Mm-hmm.
nothing, I could not feel passionate about everything, about anything at all. It was really
That's
difficult.
strange. So maybe can you remember right now the most like exciting moment, memorable moment in your life? Like what happened in that day, in that time, in that hour? Like something what until now you can just remember straight away. Something happy,
So
exciting. Yeah, what was that?
the the thing about me is I don't think too much about the good things in my life. I tend to think just about the bad things.
Anything brought to your memory
And
right
I
now?
don't. Hmm, well,
Maybe it was
I
someone
think of
threw a
things that I'm
cake to
glad
your face.
happened.
It can be a happy moment,
um,
why not?
I I just remember playing a lot. When it comes to just good memories, I just remember playing a lot as a kid, and just remember like the wonder and the creativity. I was a really creative kid. I liked writing stories, and I still do. I just lost a little bit of touch with it. I try sometimes, and I've done recently. I have written a few things, but
Hmm.
not too much, and not like I used to. But I have that in itself, all that together. It's not just one day, but like all that. Just remembering how much I used to play and how much I used to love, like get entranced in writing stories. Those are good memories for sure.
Let's come back to now. Before I asked, I will return us back to the power hour. I still have like. Then tell me the
Hmm.
worst experience you had.
Okay, there's multiple. um,
Okay, at least one.
there was 2 or 3 weeks where I just kept getting crashed. There
This
was,
is the
I guess,
worst.
someone
No, 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 no.
specifically.
Let's go for some more craziness. I'm sure you have something. Don't skip it.
Um, it's just because I obviously there's also when people come on and okay, no, I'm starting to think. Okay, so there was one power hour where everything that could go wrong did go wrong. Um,
Seriously? Wow.
it's it had a lot of trolls. A lot of trolls were there. That was, but that's like that's not the biggest thing. But it started off with a bunch of trolls, people getting on stage saying the N word, whatever. People like, and I couldn't organize it properly, and like no one was listening to me that day. Um, Same thing was my friends did not help at all, and that frustrated me to no end. Because my friends, who I expect my friends to, if they see that I'm having trouble, I expect them to help me organize. Maybe like maybe they don't have to go out and talk to people, but at the very least, them be organized and give me less stress. But that day, my friends saw the chaos, and all my friends did was make more chaos, and that frustrated me so bad to the point where I felt very bad that day, and I was very angry that day because that day made me feel like, wow, my friends do not care. I started thinking to myself, wow, that was a day where I thought where I started thinking these people only see me as the host, and they don't see me as a person, and they don't care about the way I feel and stuff. And it was just a day where everyone was very rude, very insulting, and it was just that for hours.
Mhm.
And I just dealt with it for hours and just
What do
took
you
it for
think?
hours. And then my friends.
What do you
Mhm.
think? How would it be if, for example, in that day you would just let yourself enjoy with them, with these trolls, with this mess, just like let it be? How do you think it
That's
might change?
something that I've normally try to do. Normally,
Mm-hmm.
try to do when there's a troll. I make fun of them a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
like I include them on the joke, right? Like if they're saying something stupid, then I act like I also say, I go with it. If they say
Mm-hmm.
something really weird, I start talking to them about that weird thing, until we get them out. So yeah,
So
that's
what?
something that I normally am proud of, but that day was I was
Oh,
not.
over.
I don't know. I just wasn't in the mood that day, and so I mean, if I had let myself do that, maybe I would have felt better that day, but the reason why it annoyed me so much is because I don't think it's a good example to set. I don't want people to think they can just do whatever they want to me,
Why
because I
you
want
think?
people to, like, while I like to be silly, but I want them to
Mm-hmm.
respect me.
Mm. So do you think that it may help you to, like, if you will not enjoy this day and this stroll, it may like ruin your reputation and people might not respect you.
Like, I think, yeah, that day was frustrating to me because of that. It was a lot of new people were there, a lot
Mm-hmm.
of new people were sitting in the audience,
Mm-hmm.
but to them I must have looked like I had no control, and I'm sure that showed to them. And I think that makes me look really bad because yes, I like to be fun and like I like to be silly, but I want things to go well. I want the line to be respected. If you wait in line, I don't want someone to cut in front of you. And this day was a day where a lot of people were doing that. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people were running to the stage without permission
Thank
and
you so
stuff like
much
that.
for
And
sharing,
it's
Powertron,
not a good
this.
show.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. I'm sure it wasn't easy maybe to share, but I appreciate it so much. And like, yeah,
No
I
worries.
I can feel you. Like it's might be very destructive. Like I hope you balanced and it will never happen again. But yeah, situation again. I believe that it teaches you so many things how to handle even this. What did you get out of this? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
did it happen later, or like, how did you deal with this?
Well, it showed me
Yeah, I
that I had
just
to
left.
be. It showed me that I have to be not strict, but I have to be organized, and I have to explain to people. Sometimes I'll have to stop and tell people, listen, this is the way we have to do it, and everything. And yeah, when there's a troll on stage, like I said, try to do what you said. I enjoy the moment, and I don't just say, oh my god, there's a troll. Like, I try to be like, ha, that's kind of funny, and
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of thing. So it just one thing I learned was I have to take care of myself and be in a good mood. I can't do power hour if I don't feel good. I
Right,
need to feel
right.
good to do it. And and so yeah, just a focus
What
on that.
what can people do on show? Like what they can do on the show, what they cannot, and how long time each of them has. Like there is a limitation, right?
Right.
Or it's just
So
like limitless.
what I tell people, what the rule I always say is, you can do anything. You can do music, instrumental.
Mm-hmm.
You can do poetry, comedy. You can even just go on to tell a story or give a little speech. There's some people who just come out and say what's on their mind sometimes. And I try to limit them to about 5 to 7 minutes, because after 5 minutes, people get grumpy and they start going, "Why is he taking so long?" So, so yeah, I try to keep it to 5 minutes so that it's fair and that people aren't waiting extra long. But really, it's open mic. I just want people to have a stage and people looking at them. You do what you want to do. It's there's a lot of options there, and I think it lets you discover yourself, what you do in front of a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people when all they're doing is watching you. It lets you
Will you
discover what you're comfortable with. What. Mhm.
will you accept, for example, like if someone will go on stage and at his time and he has 5 minutes, so and he need a little bit more of time to gather himself together, like, and he do nothing, what would you do? Like, how would you react? Would you just like let him go and tell him like next, or you will just let him meditate in this 5 minutes? Did it happen to you?
um. Yes, there are plenty of people who come on stage and either are nervous or
Mm-hmm.
are having technical problems.
Uh-huh.
Um, and so it also depends on the line. If there's a lot of people who I know are waiting a long time, I will try to encourage that person, or try to help them if it's technical. But
How
I
do you
ask
do it?
them if it's taking too long.
Yeah, how would you
Well, if it's
encourage?
someone who's nervous, if there's someone who's nervous, always, so my mantra, my whole motto is there's no good enough. Like here on Power Hour, it's not about being good enough. There's no
Mm-hmm.
standard, there's no number, there's nothing like that. It's just have fun. And if you have fun, then that's good enough. It doesn't matter what level of singer you are, what level of
Mm-hmm.
instrumentalist you are. It doesn't matter what type of comedian you are. It's just do it. And if you had fun, and hopefully other people had fun, that's good enough.
I just remember, like, I felt couple of times when I can't be there because someone is singing and it's so horrible. I just want to leave the world. I don't know how you can, like, it's just honestly, like sometimes oh my god, please stop. Like, how do you as a host like handle this? Because it's fun, it's good. Like, we're accepting everyone, right? Like, you have to accept everyone and like let them try themselves, at least as long as it's like your motto or like idea of the Power Hour. So, but there is
Right.
really sometimes, or are they joking this way, or it's really something is wrong. What would you do about this? Like, that's why I was asking you about restriction and limitation. At least maybe they have to have something uh to understand them, that little judgment, because I guess that it's still losing time
Right.
for many of us.
Right.
Do you,
I do try
how?
to discourage people who do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if what they do is bad, but if all they're doing is going on and putting their microphone, like they're just putting a song that they're not singing and they're just putting it on the microphone, that I
Mm-hmm.
don't like. That's nothing. That's not a performance. That's just
Mm-hmm.
wasting. That is what I think is wasting time.
Yeah.
Um, because that is someone who's just there to mess with us. That's not someone who's trying to do, like, that they're not trying anything. So I don't feel bad saying that that's not a performance. But if they're trying something, that's what I care about, right? If they're trying, I don't care if they sound like a mouse that
What
just learned
if
how to
they
sing.
what if they
That doesn't
seriously
matter to
troll?
me.
What if they seriously, like, I will go, for example, I will go on the stage, I will use the voice changer, I will use another avatar, and I will like like, and I will say, listen, I want to perform, I want to take my my power out. What would you do?
no, but no, but that's one of the times where I
But
where
this is
I where I would go and
performance.
be
Like, I want to break through, so I want to actually like feel myself, because I want to perform, I want to start, I want to be weird. This is my performance. There is no restrictions.
the I no, I don't mind that at all. And if anything, if someone comes to me and does exactly what you just said, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna look at them and I'm gonna be like, Afra, how are you today? And we'll have a conversation and we're just gonna keep going and everyone's gonna watch it and it's gonna be really
That's
weird,
perfect.
but we're gonna have fun.
That's
so
cool.
so yeah,
That's
I don't
nice.
mind that at all.
Hmm. So, how long do you hold do you hold the show? Like, I know that before you used to have like until maybe last, but now I can say that I can see that you cut. Um, even there is people in line.
Yeah. I realize that I can't go forever.
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
older now. I'm so old. I'm such a broken man. No, um, it's because I think before there was a really big novelty to it to me, so I was able to do that a few extra hours.
Mm-hmm.
But nowadays it's more. I was starting to feel like, okay, I do this a lot and everything, and I still love it, and I still want to do it. And at this point, I normally go for 4 to 5 hours, right?
Wow.
No, 4 to 5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm feeling good, if I'm really feeling good, and there's people, then I'll push it a bit more, a few more hours, and because I used to do 8 hours, was
Yeah, I
normal
remember
back
that
then.
days. Mm-hmm. Look, what do you
Right.
think if you will just put a time so people can actually also organize themselves to come within this time and like know that it's only for 3 hours or 4 hours, and how many you can, and not more. Do you know when to stop? Like, d- did you think about this? Like, I believe that it might be improvement in the show, or maybe it can be also distraction, or like people will be not happy. Oh no, I want, because um like having stop whenever you feel, I don't think it's right or wrong, but like I think if you will have like, oh, this is power hour for 4 hours and that's it, so people know that they will come earlier, it will be better for you, better for them. Have you thought about this?
Right. I don't disagree. I don't disagree, and I've thought of putting a hard stop. Um, I've thought about putting a hard stop, but to me, in the
Why
same way
don't
that
you
I
do it?
don't give restrictions to the people who come on,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the same way I don't give restrictions to the people that come on, and I let the if their performance is long, like I said, I'll give them the extra few minutes if they need it and stuff. And in that same way, and some people get on stage and they only say one word and then leave.
Mm-hmm.
In that
Mm-hmm.
same way, if I give them that freedom, I feel like I also kind of deserve a little bit of freedom. And if I feel really bad and I try to do my best and I realize that I don't have energy, that I don't feel happy, I think I have like the right to say, "All right, guys, thank you so much for coming, but I need to go sleep or something because I don't
Mm-hmm.
feel great." I think I should have that right, and that's why I like REP, the group I'm a part of. It's because that's part of the way we see things. We don't, while other hosts do 1 hour, 2 hours, but they're not forced to. If they would like to go for a long time, we let them go for a long time. If they feel really bad at one day and they can't do their show, we don't force them to. It's
So you
we
want to.
understand some people will be a little
Mm-hmm.
sad, you know. Some people might get frustrated and be like, okay, I wanted to go to that show and it's not happening, and I understand. But also, we do this for free. We're not,
Yeah.
there's no payment here, right? So we're
Mm-hmm.
doing it for free. This is our free time. I shouldn't be forced into
But
anything
yeah,
with my
but
free
the
time, you know what I
energy,
mean?
energy resources is also resources, which you spend, and this is your personal time, which you also could have like spent for something what you earn. It's, for example, I mean, respect the time, your
Right.
specially time. I think it's good enough. But again, as I heard you well, like you want to be more like with the flow, natural, and slowly come to this point, because I'm sure that you're gonna come to this point. But for now, you feel powerful in here that you can stretch the time. Yeah, it's actually great. It's actually cool. But I feel like you soon you
Right.
will come to
I'm
this
willing to
point.
change. No, I'm willing to change, and if it's necessary, I would agree with you. I'll do it if I think it comes to a
You will
point where,
have
yeah,
more
I need
time for
to tell
editing.
everyone.
I will give you this
True,
candy.
true, very
What
true.
do you think? You see, the time is really like plays a
I
big role, because I feel
Yeah,
sorry
definitely.
sometimes for you. Like I see how you squeeze yourself in here. Like I know you enjoying, but it's like, wow, big respect. Seriously, big respect. You invest a lot of
Thank you.
hours, and like handle different types of people. Still, it's socializing. It's not easy, but you're doing it
I
well.
try. I try very hard.
That's amazing. um Also, I want to ask you, um how do people like know about you, and how they search about you? Or you already mentioned that you just invite them in the beginning, but then they came by recommendation, or how?
So, yeah, in the beginning, I would go to other open mics. I would do my absolute best on stage. I would try to
Mm-hmm.
impress everyone I could. And then I
Mm-hmm.
tell them, hey guys, listen, every Tuesday, that's why I'm so good at it, because I would say it all the time. Every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, you can come to Power Hour every Tuesday, hosted by me, Powertron. We do open mics, sometimes featured performances. You can absolutely stop by. You can friend me on Vrchat or follow my Twitch. I do that so often, and I used to do that so much that it became so natural to me. Um, so I would do that all the time and just get my name out there and go to whether it was with random people or whether it was with other organized events. If they would allow me to say that I have a show, I would do it, and that's what everyone. So even if they didn't come, they at least knew it existed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I would just do that almost every day basically. I would just do that in VR chat.
That's
Obviously
nice.
doing that every day got a little tiring, which is
Of
why
course.
after a few months I stopped doing it like that. But also it's because now my focus is not just in growing Power Hour, but it's also trying to make it sustainable because now there's other hosts, there's other people, so now it's more about getting the world as a whole to invite new people and everything. And we're getting to a point now where our world is becoming the regular open mic world, because there's an older one that was used to be like the default. If you wanted open
Yeah.
mic, you go there.
Mm-hmm. What about
But now
private
that one
world?
is less popular. Yeah, yeah.
Like if you will have your own world, or it doesn't help for now because like it's not public, people cannot just join like this. Like if you have
Yeah,
a
I
private
always try to
world.
do public.
Yeah, okay, got it. Any of
I always try to do
celebrities,
public.
any of
Oh
celebrities
yeah, yeah.
join you since all of this time? Like, have you seen some people who maybe already perform on stage in real life or in virtual life, or some like who DJs or someone who wanted to show?
So sometimes people would tell me a few YouTubers would stop by. Not too
Mm-hmm.
much, but there's one that was I've blanked on his name now. It was Asian Beats or Asian Taste.
Mm-hmm.
He's a beatboxer, and he's over 600,000
I
subscribers
think I met him in
on
Vrchat.
YouTube.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, he's a chill guy. He's a really chill
Yeah.
guy, and he performed it on stage, blew everyone away because he's a beatboxer, a
He's
great one, and a
wow.
good singer. He also sings really well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he's gone to Power Hour 2, 3 times. I remember seeing him. I think he never accepted my friend request. If I remember correctly, I sent him every time I met him. I sent him a friend request.
Yeah, buddy.
Yes, sir. Asian Styles.
My name is AznStylez, and I like to jack off before I go to sleep.
It's
So
healthy.
here we go. Come with me. There's a world out there that we should see. Take my hand, close your eyes. With you right here, I'm a rocketeer. Let's fly. Yeah, up we go, yeah. Where we stop, nobody knows. Let's go. Yeah, up here we go, yeah. Where we stop, nobody knows.
But yeah, he was nice and everything, and people, definitely respectable people who have some
Mm-hmm.
presence online. But celebrity, unless they were in disguise, not yet.
That's
So
so
yeah.
interesting. Also, like, how many, like maximum people were attending your program? Like, it was crowded that day when you like feel
Mm.
like wow, it's a lot of people and they want from like, did it happen? How often did it happen? Like maybe it's happened once, like average amount of people visiting.
Definitely. Um, so by default, the world is only meant to hold 40 people.
Uh-huh.
But it was when we started breaking 40, and the thing about it was we would break 40 consistently. It was
Mm-hmm.
like every week 50 people. And
Wow.
so to me, it's not about having one day that was a really big number. It's about constantly, that consistency. I got a little worried and sad because during these summer months, the numbers went down a lot
Mm-hmm.
for me. And I was really worried, and I thought either people were bored of me or I was not doing a great job. But then yesterday happened, or Yeah, yesterday. I almost forgot what day it was. Yesterday happened, and I think it's because now that people have a schedule again, and a lot of kids are entering
Maybe.
school in North America again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think now that they have that schedule, they come home and power hour is practically right after school, almost. Like, so they have a few hours to eat, and then power hour starts. And I think maybe that's what's helping people come back, because yesterday it was back to normal. Someone mentioned that the world had 70 people in it at one point. On the screen it showed 70,
Mm-hmm.
and at one point, it wasn't for that long, but yeah, and I kept checking and I saw 40, 45, and I'm like, oh my god, it's like the old days. I'm so happy. It was a relief, because I was like, oh my god, it is possible. Okay, okay. No, people aren't bored of me. Just maybe it was the season, because again, I haven't even done this for a full year, so I still need to learn what, what months and what holidays affect everything, like what time periods
And
will
what
will
is
show
the
better numbers, which ones will show worse.
average
Mhm.
age of people who join the show? Like, do you
So
know? Is it like
I've
more
never really asked.
teens? Yeah, but still, we can feel it. I mean, by your feeling, by your observation, maybe how you think, because we still can
So
guess if
I've
it's kid
noticed.
is a kid, adults.
Right, right. If I were to give my best guess, I would say that roughly 40 something percent are under the age of 15.
Wow.
like not half, but a good number are kids, are
Mm.
what you would call kids, and like early teens. um and then there's a good percentage of people that are around my age. I just turned 20 in August.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a good amount of people who are, a few years younger, a few years older than me. I would probably put that around the 30-40% as well. And then there's that last 20 15ish percent that are like grown adults, like, over
Mm-hmm.
30, mature adults.
Mm-hmm.
And so
And what,
yeah,
like you
but
divided right now in three uh, divisions, like of the percentage. So I can say that kids are most, then average, like age, and more adults. And what is their talents? Like kids, what they perform mostly, what mid age perform mostly, and what adults perform mostly. Like what they do in the talents as a talent.
so um I think most people just tend to sing.
Sing.
It's like the most common thing in most age groups.
Mm-hmm.
But adults, I noticed, if they're older, there's a bigger chance that they also play an instrument.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that's the biggest difference between the kids and the adults. That adults tend to play an instrument as well. Kids normally don't.
And mostly, what instrument is it? Like guitar, piano, maybe some other more like difficult instruments, which.
It's mostly guitar and piano. Because I think those are the simplest to do with VR chat. Like it's like
Piano?
the ones that you can either, both of them can be plugged into a computer, both of them can be heard on a microphone.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But I have seen a few people who play the drums. Not many, but a
Wow.
few play the drums. I've heard a few flutes and harmonicas here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, One of the hosts that I work with, he plays the saxophone sometimes. Not often, but he has a saxophone, and sometimes when he wants to, he'll do a solo on it. So
Powertron,
you'll find a lot of things. Mhm.
can you describe your one of your regular days? Like how it would be? You wake up in the morning, you go back to sleep.
Mm.
I don't know.
uh, so at the moment, because I had quit my job a while back, so at the moment I don't do anything, so I get to be free. Not really, because I
Describe
need
it.
to find a job again
What is
soon.
the freedom? Like what
But
do you do?
uh So for now, it is wake up. If there's something that needs to be done around the house, I try to do it. You know, either whether that's fix something or clean something, organize something.
You do it yourself all
Sometimes I
day.
don't because I'm too lazy.
Okay. Do you have
Not all
sisters,
of it. I
brothers?
do live. At the moment, I live with my dad and a roommate. I also have a roommate.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, so you know, my dad also, of course, does a lot, and my roommate will also, you know, clean his part and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but but yeah, I uh you know, do a little bit in the house when I can. If I need to go buy groceries, then I do that. I go to the gym. I don't really have a specific time for these. Sometimes I start my day late. Sometimes I get up really early. Since I since I don't have a schedule, that's kind of how it works for me.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the gym. Go to the gym, and for the most part, yeah. Then I open my computer, and wh- if I'm not talking with anyone, then I start thinking about life and how much I'm very scared of not having money. So, um, no, but
Okay.
yeah, for right now,
And
what
how
I do
long it
is,
takes you
again, it's not much.
to think and
um,
get yourself in balance to continue?
well, no, I don't really dedicate time to it. I just
Mm-hmm.
it's because of those feelings though, because I have that thinking of, okay, I need to find a part-time job or I need to make YouTube or Twitch work. So that's
Mm-hmm.
what I do. I at the moment, recently, throughout the last month or so, my days have been reading a little bit about like the algorithm, the YouTube algorithm, understanding it more, understanding how to, you know, market myself when it comes to YouTube and Twitch
Mm-hmm.
and those things. Also, I never edited until recently, until I started making these videos. So I'm still also, you know, learning new things to do with my editor, with the editor software I have.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And
doing more
how
complicated things to
and
make my videos cooler.
how would you day finish? Like you editing, you do this, you come at it's evening. Can you have a stop? Like can you stop yourself or you go overnight? What do you do?
Oh, I normally can't stop myself. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I manage. If there's nothing going on, sometimes I manage. You know, before 12, I get in bed and I go to sleep at a good
Mm-hmm.
time.
Mm-hmm.
Other times, not so much. It's just because I'm on the east coast of North America, so I in the continent, my time zone is the latest. So when it's 12 for me, it's 7 in California. To put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, I tend to, you know, a lot of people are on really late, and it's very normal for us in the Eastern. We have to be awake later so that we can talk to other people and talk to the people from the other side of the continent. And I
Mm-hmm.
have a lot of friends who are the same. So all of us tend to stay up really, really late. So if I want to socialize, if I want to spend, you know, if I want to talk to some people, and also talk to my IRL friends because I moved away from where I grew up. I
Mm-hmm.
don't live in the same city anymore. So if I want to talk to those people, you know, I have to do it online. So
What
yeah,
about your
I
father?
would.
Do like he knows what you're doing? Like do he supports you in this way in your journey?
Yes, yes. He knows about Twitch. He knows about the YouTube. He supports me because he knows it makes me happy, and
Mm-hmm.
he knows there's potential in it. He realizes that like if I do it properly and if I work at it, he knows like he believes in me. He thinks I'm talented, so he
Mm-hmm.
knows that it's something I'm capable of. At the same time, of course, you know, he's you know, he doesn't put pressure on me. He's not toxic. He's a dad. He does what he should, and so he tells me, hey, remember though, you should probably get a part-time job, you know, that you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to do all day. get a part-time, have that money and get something, so that if you need to buy something, you have it. Because for a long time I've been living on my savings and it's running out. So he told me, don't spend too much, try to work a part-time and still keep working on the videos and everything. So yeah, he's definitely supportive. He knows,
And
he also understands that I go to sleep
who is
late,
your
so
inspiration?
yeah.
Do you have like something what always keeps you up? Or who is it? Or
Well,
what is this?
I have a few inspirations. So when it comes to people that inspire me or that motivate me,
Mm-hmm.
my friends from high school, from middle school, those are like my brothers
Mm-hmm.
to me. I know their parents, they know my parents. It's like to me they're all family, and so I always told myself from when I was a kid, I knew that they were real friends, and I knew that they were friends that were gonna be with me for the rest of my life,
Do
and
they
it's
support
already
you
showing
too?
to be true. Not as much, not as much, but like of course they
Uh-huh.
believe in me, and they're rooting for me, but they have their own lives, like they also
Mm-hmm.
have their things that they're worried about. Yeah, but a lot of them are talented. One of them used to be in the band with me, and so I know that if I manage to break through, and if I manage to be really big on Twitch or YouTube, I know that they can use the opportunity, right? I'm not gonna give them anything, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna give them money, but like I'm gonna give them the opportunity, and I know that if I can do it, then they absolutely can. So I want to break through and help them get the opportunities they need, because I truly believe all of us could be doing this together, honestly.
Don't
They
you
do
think when
support
you
me a
get
lot, of course.
will break through,
Mhm.
maybe you will have opportunities for yourself, like to focus on the goals which you actually planning to do? You want to break through for someone or for yourself?
It definitely for myself. I'm one of those people that I want to leave something when
Mm-hmm.
I'm gone, when I'm dead. I know that my family and my friends will remember me. I know that of course I've affected people in their lives, but I want a little bit more than that. Like, I hope that there's a lot of stories, a lot of media that affected my childhood and that turned me into this weirdo that I am. There's a lot of, I grew up again, like, yeah, I went outside. I definitely, I loved playing outside, but I also grew up on the internet. I
Mm-hmm.
grew up with video games. I grew up with YouTube. I grew up with Smosh, Tobuscus, so many of these YouTubers, Niga Higa, and I want to be in that position. I don't want to be like them because I don't think I'm like them, but I'm my own person. I'm different, I'm unique, but I want to be able to reach a position like that. I want to be able to be a part of culture in a sense. I hope that I can find people who are like me, that, need someone really weird on the internet for them to identify with, and I
Mm-hmm.
hope I can provide that. And that's my bigger motivator. It's obviously being financially stable, but
um I want to
it's-
ask you about your personal life. Like, I know it may be early to ask, but like, how you spend your personal life? Do you have, like, about friends? I understand. What about your girlfriends? You have a lot of attention from girls.
oh man. So most of my life I've had terrible luck with girls. Any girl I liked didn't like me back. um it was but I
Sorry,
was young,
maybe.
whatever, I was just a kid,
Are
so
you
it's
straight
not.
orientation?
Yes, I am
Okay.
heterosexual, yes. Well,
Hmm.
I also am homosexual because I always kiss the homies goodnight. Yeah, that's a joke. I like saying that
so,
joke. I think it's funny.
so why you don't have luck with
Homie,
girls?
homo. It sounds similar. Um. So, I had a lot of growing up to do, and I wasn't mature. Not in the sense that I was. I am mature. Like I've always a lot of adults have always complimented me and said that I'm pretty smart and that I seem to understand a lot. But when it came to girls and that love and affection, I wasn't. I was very lost and I was
You don't
very
feel like chemistry with
weird.
any?
No, I always felt chemistry with people, but my problem was I think I just didn't understand love, and the truth is I was pretty depressed as a kid.
Mhm.
And so I had a lot of insecurity, and I had the mindset that I thought a girl would fix that. I thought
Okay,
I
what
thought a
about
girl,
your like? Okay, you want to put responsibility on someone? Yeah, I had.
basically, yeah,
Like,
that was my problem, yeah.
so, have you ever kissed a girl? Like, you are 20, maybe you had some like experience.
So, I'm like all these problems were about from
Yes or no?
until I was like 17. No. It's because I want to give you because things have changed. Things have changed a lot for me, right?
Uh-huh.
So all this bad luck was from like until I was 17. After I turned 17, I went to a different school, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of things changed. I noticed that at this new school, that yes, a lot of girls actually were paying more attention to me and stuff like that. And also I had changed and matured a little bit, and
Mm-hmm.
I had gone through some really bad relationships that helped me realize, okay, you have a problem. We need to fix it. And so because I was also a very different person, and I wasn't trying to pressure any, I was kind of more like, okay, I'm gonna go with the flow. I'm gonna live life. I'm gonna grow. I'm gonna mature, and eventually the right person will come to me, right? It'll happen when it happens, kind
Mm-hmm.
of thing. And there was no more pressure for me.
And I'm sure that your fans also want to know maybe about you. Maybe you have a lot of girls who actually from Power Hour who comes to see you to perform. You have so many fans. So if this video will get 500 likes, we're gonna have exclusive live interview with Powertron, and he gonna tell all everything straight, not roaming around. Right? Let's get
Right.
it.
No, I just like giving the backstory to things. I just like giving the backstory to things.
Mhm.
That's my problem.
No problem.
Yes, I have kissed a lot of girls. The truth is, I have kissed a lot of
Finally!
girls. Okay, that's if that's what you wanted to know.
I just asked,
Um,
did you ever kiss at least one girl? I kissed a lot of girls.
no, that it's the truth. I never had a
That's
girlfriend
good.
until I was 17. But
That's
even
okay.
before that, I had made out with a lot of girls. I had kissed a lot of girls. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I've been. This is gonna sound weird, but I've been kissing girls since I was like in the first grade. I remember I was a little kid, and this other
Oh
little
God.
girl, like we kissed, right? But like, and this is actually Afra. This is why I don't know when my first kiss was, because
That's why you were so long
because
trying to remember.
yes, that's it's because I don't want to count the ones I was a little kid. We were just little kids. It was a peak, it didn't mean anything. It was just kids, you don't, that's not, it wasn't emotional. It wasn't, but then since I never stopped, since it never stopped, I don't know at what point it got real. You know what I mean? I don't know what kiss was the one that was real. Because I know that if I kiss someone now, it's real, but I don't know
Mhm.
about then. So it's this really weird thing, and I've always thought to myself, I've always considered, what was my first kiss? Who was the person that I meant it? You know, when was it that I actually meant it and it felt something?
Mhm.
It gets
What
weird to
about?
think about.
Oh, I hope you will find like someone who will, who you will. I'm lagging. I hope you will find someone with who you will have real keys, and then you will tell me about this. Wow. Actually, I
No,
guess it's still too early. But like, let's come to the
I
travel part. Sorry. Like,
sure,
have you traveled outside of US?
not not too much. No, I don't live in the U.S.
To
I'm not American.
Oh, sorry. Where
uh,
do you live?
I I was born in Canada. Is where I was born.
Okay, Canada. Yes, okay, Canada. Where exactly in
Right.
Canada?
Um, So I was
What?
born in Toronto, Ontario,
Toronto.
Canada, the greatest city in the world. And so Drake is from there. The Weeknd is from there. So a lot of good musical talent. So I'm gonna be the next one. But
You will.
so when it comes to travel, I have traveled in the continent, but I haven't
Mhm.
left the continent.
Okay.
I have visited the US, I have
Mhm.
visited Nicaragua, Panama. What else? Yeah, I've been to a few states in the US because it's big, of course. I've been to Panama. I've
Mhm.
seen Costa Rica for a little bit. It wasn't that much,
Wow.
but I saw a bit of it. But I've yet to leave the continent. I really want to go to Europe and see it, but I haven't yet.
Mhm. So, what is your future plans about your show? Do you have any? I think we are going to the
Um,
end, so I will slowly like wrap it up with your vision
sure,
in the
sure.
future. Like, how do you feel about this? Like, do you have more ideas to put in, or like you want to still keep it as the same how it is until you understand what you're gonna do next?
Right. When it comes to what I want to do with my show, the show itself. I don't have too many plans to change it.
Hmm.
I will like me and Pip when it comes to the world and things. We will change little things as we go.
Hmm.
As we see the need for it and when we have better ideas because it's not always the best to go with the first idea you think of.
Hmm.
So yeah, we'll work on like the show and the world itself little by little. But besides that, I don't have any crazy plans for the show. My focus will be on my Twitch and my YouTube, right? I want to grow those because I think I haven't done an amazing job with that. And now that I see that I can with the YouTube actually doing something and growing, I know I can, and so I want to focus on growing it and actually getting an audience. And hopefully, the goal for me there is to make a career out of it.
Hmm.
And Power Hour
I
will
hope you
always be
will
my little
reach it.
passion. Yeah.
I hope you will reach your goal, and I believe in you too. Powertron, it was like
Thank
really
you.
a lot of fun to have you today. And thank you so much for sharing your story.
It was. Thank you.
And like,
Of
if you want
course.
to hear more stories like that, click this subscribe button and let me know in the comments if you enjoy the video. And this was VR Show with Afra. Tell your story. Thank you so much. I think we are done.
Thank you, Afra.
Wow.
Yay!
Thank you,
That
like.
was a lot of fun, Afra. Thank you. Seriously.
Me too,
Yes,
I
thank
had
you,
a
like.
lot of fun.
Appreciate you.
Wait, we need to show like. We need to show like how he's sitting
But
like 1
Afra,
hour.
now I need to
This is
now I
like.
need to tell you though because
Are you still there? You survived.
Afra, I have had okay, three things you need to know. Here we go. Come with me. There's a world out there that we should see. Take my hand, close your eyes. With you right here, I'm rocking till let's fly. Yeah. Top up, here we go.